So welcome back to the show. So I want to talk about the infrastructure bill. We do not have anything on paper yet. So the hope was that we would see something today on Monday, but we have not seen anything yet. So we're still hearing talks of they want to move forward with the infrastructure bill, and the text will be available shortly, but we have not seen that text. Now, we had senators late last week, saying that there'd be a vote today. But obviously that's not going to happen. And we also had senators saying we would see text today. So unless we see it in the 11th hour, we haven't seen anything as of yet. Now, I want to talk about two different things. I want to talk about President Trump, because he is now chiming in when it comes to the infrastructure bill. And then we're going to play a clip of the majority leader, Chuck Schumer, and he's going to talk a little bit about the plans to move forward when it comes to this infrastructure bill. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please hit the like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, I want to remind you guys in the comment section, if you see my name and you see a picture of me, make sure there's also a check next to my name. That signifies it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me, and it's someone trying to impersonate me. All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about President Trump. So former President Trump is now speaking out against moving forward with this infrastructure bill. So he's saying that we should wait. We should wait, and he's talking about Republicans should wait until the midterms, because after the midterms, the hope is that they will have more leverage. So let's say they win the House, they win the Senate, or they win both. Now they'll have the majority in both, and they can dictate what goes on when it comes to this infrastructure bill. And so he's saying wait. He's saying wait until after the midterms. Midterms are next year in November, so that's a long wait. Now, the reality when it comes to this, the Democrats can move forward with reconciliation. They can do reconciliation for the first infrastructure bill and the second infrastructure bill. As a matter of fact, they can put both infrastructure bills together and then move them forward with reconciliation. So by the former president saying that they should delay until the midterms, it's not realistic. It's not going to happen, because the Democrats can just say, okay, we're going to go alone. We're not going to wait until next year. And they would be foolish to wait until next year, because that would mean a whole year of nothing getting done. And that obviously would give the Republicans an advantage in that election. So the Democrats are going to want to move forward with something. So they'll use reconciliation if they have to. Now, President Biden has said that he wants to make this first infrastructure bill, he wants to make it bipartisan, but if they need to, they can always move forward without a bipartisan agreement. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. But I just thought it was interesting that you have former President Trump chiming in when it comes to this infrastructure bill. And you don't really see this. You don't see former presidents really chiming in when it comes to legislation. Usually they stay away from that, and they just, once they're no longer president, they're kind of out of the limelight. They're not trying to control the party in any way. So it's interesting to see that you have former President Trump coming in and saying, look, you guys would be foolish to move forward with this infrastructure bill. So that I just wanted to get that information out to you guys. Now, I want to talk about the majority leader, Chuck Schumer, and we're going to play this clip. Now, this clip is interesting because the majority leader, this is more of a weak kind of demand. It's not something that's firm, and I'm going to explain to you why, just in the wording that he's using when it comes to how he plans to move forward. So let's go ahead and play the clip, and we'll talk about it as we watch it. Here we go.
For years, Madam President, Republicans and Democrats have spoken about the need to invest more in our nation's infrastructure. We are a country the size of a continent. Every state has critical infrastructure demands. Bridges that need repair, railways that need maintenance, sewer systems that desperately need expansion and renovation. Over a month ago now, a bipartisan group of senators announced a deal with the White House on a framework for a bipartisan infrastructure bill, a breakthrough moment. Ever since, I have committed both publicly and privately to put that bill on the Senate floor. Unfortunately, last week our Republican colleagues prevented the Senate from taking a procedural step to begin the debate. But I want to be very clear. I am fully committed to passing a bipartisan infrastructure bill.
Okay, so that sounds good so far. He's fully committed in passing this infrastructure bill. Now let's keep playing and hear the wording that he uses. You have to listen to the wording of politicians because they always try to leave an out when they're talking. Here we go.
As a majority leader, I have the ability to move to reconsider the vote to begin debate on that bill this week.
Okay, so he can move forward. So he's saying he has that ability. As the majority leader, he can move forward with the vote that they need.
Since senators are still finalizing the text of the agreement, senators should be on notice that the Senate may stay in session through the weekend in order to finish the bill.
Okay, so he said they may stay over the weekend in order to finalize this bill. Now, when you use the word may, that's not really a strong statement. What I would like to have heard is they will stay over the weekend if they can't finalize the infrastructure bill.
Let me say that again. Senators should be on notice that the Senate may stay in session through the weekend in order to finish the bipartisan infrastructure bill. And as I've said before, further delays may mean that the Senate will remain in session into the previously scheduled August recess.
Okay, now that was the end. So they could stay. They can go into their recess basically if they don't have anything when it comes to this infrastructure bill. But he said may again. They may go into the previously scheduled recess. And so this is one of those things. Obviously, the politicians want to go on their recess. So this could nudge them to really get things done. But it was just interesting to hear that the majority leader he's not making a real strong statement. He's kind of saying, okay, you know what? We may have to do this if you guys can't get this done. Whereas he could say, no, if this doesn't get done, this will happen. You will have to forego your recess until you get this done. So that's what I would have liked to have heard him say, but at least he is saying something. He is saying, look, no recess, or at least you might not have a recess if you don't get this done in time. And so we're still waiting. We're still waiting to see what Congress does. And the whole plan, the plan was, because last week when we saw this cloture vote not pass, we had politicians coming out on both sides of this bipartisan group coming out and saying, okay, we're going to have something on Monday. We're sitting on Monday. Nothing is here yet. So we're going to have to see. Will it be Tuesday? Will it be Thursday? When will they hold the vote again? Because we don't know when the vote's going to be held again. And then how are they going to proceed with finalizing this bill? So those are the things that we're going to be looking at. If you guys have any questions, post them down below. And one more thing before we go, I think I'm going to start playing a little longer clip. So that's not all that he was talking about when he came to the infrastructure bill. He did go in and talk about President Trump. And so I do want to play that full clip, but I just didn't want to do it in this video. So stay tuned. In a couple of hours, there'll be a full clip of what he talked about. So if you guys have any questions, post it down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.